Dealing with parental divorce is one of the most difficult challenges a child can face. And when your parents happen to be two of the most famous people on the planet, the divorce brings many more layers of difficulty. That's why no one envies the children of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, who have had to endure the tumult and tribulations of their parents' very publicized and talked about divorce. And while it has surely affected all of their children, today we're going to be talking about their daughter, Shiloh. Now 16 years old, Shiloh has found herself caught in the middle of the divorce, and she's attempted not to take sides. Join Facts First as we look into this troubling situation and present Shiloh Jolie-Pitt is suffering amid her parents' ugly divorce. Shiloh Jolie-Pitt was born in 2006 while her parents were visiting Namibia. Given that they were two of the biggest Hollywood stars on the planet, there was a ton of intrigue and interest regarding her birth. But Jolie and Pitt sought privacy and refuge from the hounding press by visiting the African country for the birth. But even though they managed to find some privacy during the labor and birth, the world was scrambling to find out as much as they could about the child. Shiloh has grown up in the spotlight, though her parents have tried to shield her from the scrutinous eyes of the tabloids and the world as much as they're able to. It's been 16 years since that notable birth in Namibia, and Shiloh is rapidly approaching adulthood. It's been speculated and revealed by an unnamed source to OK Magazine that Shiloh is getting closer to a point where she wants her feelings about Angelina and Brad's brutal breakup to be made public. This would certainly bring an interesting new twist to the divorce that has taken more than 6 years to date and has included some pretty dubious incidents. The world is certainly hoping to hear what their eldest biological daughter has to say. Shiloh's neutrality. While there can often be a taking sides in a divorce, Shiloh has reportedly tried to remain as neutral as possible. She's tried to retain a positive relationship with both Brad and Angelina. It's been reported that most of the Jolie-Pitt clan have decided to take Angelina's side in the divorce. This was perhaps made easier when you take into account Brad's apparent misbehavior towards the kids. More on that in a minute. Apparently, Maddox, Pax, and Zahara have all gravitated towards Angelina and don't see the situation as being all that two-sided. Shiloh, on the other hand, has tried to remain as neutral as she can. She loves both parents intensely and has tried to remain a peacekeeper in the family. The source told OK that she harbors an undying hope that her parents will be able to put aside their differences and get back together. But barring that, she at least wants to make the situation more calm and peaceful for everyone. She apparently likes to remind both parents of the good times they shared in the past, because it's intensely hard for her to see them treating each other terribly. Shiloh in public versus in private. Some in the press have speculated that Shiloh actually sides with her mom because she's been spotted out with her in public. She's gone to some red carpet events with Angelina, and she's often seen shopping with her mom and sister Zahara. But of course, going shopping and supporting her mom's movies are certainly not an indicator that Shiloh has chosen her side over Brad's. In fact, the source claims that Brad and Shiloh are as close as ever. Shiloh has had a close bond with her father since she was a baby, and the fact that her parents are splitting hasn't meant that the bond is severed. Reportedly in private, she's tried to be a calming presence for the family. She's aware Angelina is a very emotional person who can be volatile, so she tries to help calm Angelina's nerves when she senses things are bad for her mom. At the same time, she's tried to make sure that, even during divorce proceedings, Brad treats Angelina with respect and a gentle touch. So clearly Shiloh is making every effort to keep things civil between the two and for their family. And the source admits that while Shiloh might wish her parents would ultimately reconcile and get back together, she's also a realist. Based on how tough the past 6 years have been, she realizes there's not really any chance of that happening. As such, she's put her focus on getting both sides to always keep in mind that their actions have an effect on the whole family, and that they should try to put down their weapons and negotiate peacefully. Brad and Angelina's crumbling relationship. While Brad and Angelina no doubt had plenty of incredible times during the course of their 14-year relationship, they also experienced a lot of friction and drama. One instance that has gone public, and perhaps can come to seem emblematic of their issues, was the one that happened on their private plane. According to a domestic abuse claim that Angelina filed in March of 2021, Pitt became abusive during a fight with the family. She claims that he grabbed her head and shook her. When two of his kids jumped up to defend their mother, he reportedly choked one of them and hit another. He then poured wine on the children and beer on Angelina. In her telling of the incident to FBI agents the next day, Angelina claimed she'd seen Pitt drinking on the flight, though he didn't seem fully intoxicated. The FBI also took photos of Jolie, which showed that she had a bruised elbow and a rug burn-style mark on her hand. The incident only came to light because Angelina felt it was necessary to include it in court documents during their battle over a winery they owned. Otherwise, it likely would have only been known to the FBI agents investigating it. Pitt was later cleared of wrongdoing by the FBI. But at the same time, Jolie claimed to be scared for her family before the split, and she has since claimed to have proof and authority that Pitt was a domestic abuser. As for Shiloh, these claims and actions have undoubtedly been difficult to deal with, let alone face in the public sphere. But at the same time, she understands that despite potentially bad behavior on her dad's part, she doesn't consider him a monster, and she has reportedly encouraged her siblings to think about him in the same way. A source close to the family pointed out that Shiloh knows that Pitt has always been there for his kids, and that it's important to Shiloh that her dad not be thought of as a criminal. Apparently, some of the kids, namely Pax and Maddox, haven't responded positively to Shiloh's wishes, though. They are still hurt by Pitt's behavior and seem to be firmly in their mother's camp. And at the same time, Zahara is reportedly taking Shiloh's pleas to heart and has been slowly allowing herself to forgive her father. And Vivian and Knox, two of the other children, have also been asking to see more of Brad, suggesting they might be taking Shiloh's wishes to heart as well. Shiloh is growing up. With how famous her family is and the crazy drama going on with them, it's easy to forget that Shiloh is simply a 16-year-old girl. As such, she's going through some of the usual trials and tribulations of being a teen. For one, she started hanging out with boys and going out. Like all good parents, Pitt and Jolie have their reservations about how much they should allow her to do. But reportedly, Angelina is more encouraging of Shiloh's desire to do more grown-up activity. Brad, on the other hand, has apparently requested that Shiloh wait until she's 18 to start dating. He also thinks Shiloh should have a chaperone with her at all times until she reaches adulthood. And that's something Angelina finds quite silly and unnecessary. She feels Pitt is being reactionary and overbearing. At the same time, Shiloh is doing her part to reassure her famous folks that she's capable of making smart decisions. And considering the sometimes childish behavior she sees from her fighting parents, she apparently often feels like she's the parents and they're the children. Hopefully, Shiloh's influence will shine through and her two parents will be able to settle things peacefully. It certainly seems to be working, at least with some of the other kids. Now it's time to hear from you. Did you know that Shiloh Jolie-Pitt has been trying to keep the peace during her parents' acrimonious divorce? Let us know in the comments section below.